Welcome to Take Account of Podcast. I am your co-host, LaToya Dixson.
And I'm your co-host, Tiffany Wilson.
And we are just excited. This is our first podcast. And Tiffany's going to give you a summary of what our podcast is about. And then we're going to go and just jump into it.
Okay. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to bridge the gap between business owners and their knowledge and education on what they have, because this is a very prized possession that they own by owning a business. And a lot of people ask us a lot of questions every day about business. And it's a lot of things that we want to touch on, and we want to help you guys to understand it better. So that way you'll be more aware of what you have and the value of what you have.
Absolutely. We both deal with business owners. We both are business owners. We've had several businesses ourselves. And, every day we are just dealing with business owners and successes and failures. So just a little history about ourselves. Okay, again, I am LaToya Dixon, and I have a undergrad degree from Alabama State University. Go Hornets. Yes. And I absolutely loved computers, but how I got to being a business owner and things like that happened when I took a marketing class in my undergrad, and I realized that computer information systems is not exactly what I wanted to do. And I decided that I wanted to pursue marketing and be able to develop campaigns for businesses, brands, things of that sort. So I went on from after undergrad and got a job working for Radio 1 Atlanta, where I got my start in marketing, and then went on to Turner Broadcasting to be on the launch team of a small network called Peachtree TV. There I pursued my MBA in marketing and got my MBA in marketing, and started a couple businesses, some marketing, promotions, PR businesses, different little things, until I was trying to find my groove. And now I am pursuing a PhD in organizational psychology, and I'm excited because that goes along with what I do in my business. I am a business consultant. I am also a professor of marketing, entrepreneurship, and organizational strategies. So I'm absolutely ecstatic for us to be able to give y'all some knowledge about business and our experiences and stories and clients and good and bad. So Tiffany, tell them about you.
Okay, we have some stories, but let me first tell you about my background. It's interesting. I have a couple of hobbies I did, and then I have some reality that I did. So I originally started off at Tuskegee University in my undergraduate degree with chemistry. So I know you guys are wondering how in the world I got to accounting. So it's always been in my family. My dad was an accountant for 47 years. So you can imagine the conversations at dinner were about, assets, liabilities, all that good stuff, spreadsheets, debits and credits. Okay. So I decided when I was at Tuskegee, once I graduated, I got out of Tuskegee. I went straight into getting an MBA. Then I did the MBA. And I finished that. And then I also decided to go back and get another master's in accounting, because I told my dad, I want to do accounting. He didn't believe me. He was like, no way. I don't believe it.
I didn't believe it either.
Yeah, she didn't either. So I decided to start a business with one of my dear friends, Devon Giles, who is my business partner now with Check and Balance Accounting Firm. So we went to Tuskegee together. So we started a business together. It used to be called Giles Wilson Tax Services and Consultation. So we did that for maybe about 5 years together. Then we branched it off for a little bit, and then we came back together, and that's when we started Check and Balance Accounting Firm, Inc. So we now have been together for 20 years, and we have been successful. It's our full-time job. We do not work for anyone else. And we're loving it. I mean, life is great. Our families love it. So we are doing great things. I have my accounting degree. I also went back and got my license. I'm an enrolled agent. So that is a federal license up under the IRS. So it's just like the CPA, but it's a federal license instead of a state license like the CPA. But I have a lot of knowledge behind taxes, accounting, doing bookkeeping, advisory roles for people, all kind of stuff, payroll, all kind of stuff. You name it, I can do it. I'm the girl for your job.
That's right. This the girl for your job. Tiffany is the truth. So, Tiffany, let's tell the people a little bit about what we are going to be talking about over our podcast. And what are we going to be pouring out to the people out here on YouTube, as well as those who are listening to our podcast?
Okay. So we have several topics that we came up with. It's crazy because we get these questions from clients every day, sometime 2-3 times a day. And we're like, wait a minute, we got to do something. We got to educate the people because we feel like if we don't educate you guys, we feel like we're not doing our job as, professionals. And we feel like we've been in business so long and we know it forward, backward. We could do a lot of this stuff in our sleep. Like people call us and we just tell people exactly what we know and how to do it. We don't have to Google it all the time. We know it that well. That's how much we do it, So some of the main topics that came to mind, as we were gathering information for the podcast, we were saying, you know what? Some people have never talked about the history behind like taxes and accounting and stuff like that. We talk about we do it every year. We do stuff every quarter. We do stuff every month, but we don't talk about the actual history behind it. Why do we do it? Because it's a reasoning for it, but we definitely need to talk about it and why, because it goes back like, oh my God, in the biblical days. So it goes far. So we definitely want to talk about that. And then also what striked us, and this is a big one, it's the business setups.
Yes.
So every time I turn around, I get a call from people. I got an LLC and I'm so sick of it because I'm like, yeah, you do. You got one. But we need to figure out why.
Right. And if it's the right type of business entity for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you can have a business in all the industries, they use it, but we just want to make sure that you guys are set up properly, making sure that you have the right license, just everything that goes behind it, and making sure you understand it and why you're doing it, the how, the why, the what. And that's what we're trying to make sure you understand behind it.
Right, because once you start off on the right foot in your business, it just makes it easier for you to continue to grow because everything is set up correctly from the beginning.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Then also we want to talk about the basic operations and logistics of your business. Like every industry operates differently, but there are basic information that all industries are supposed to have and supposed to use. And a lot of people will set this stuff up themselves and they won't go hire an accountant. They won't go hire an attorney to set this stuff up. And that's what we recommend all the time. Like, stop doing it yourselves. Yeah, you can do it yourself. You could pay the fee and you could bypass paying extra consulting fees for you to get that stuff set up. But we're just saying, just tune into it. Read. People read and get knowledgeable about this stuff because it's a lot of information out there. And I tell people, yeah, it's okay to get information from social media, but some of the stuff on social media, they don't tell you all the truth about it. And you have to dig deeper into the information to get the truth.
You need a plan.
Yes,
you need to start with a plan. And that doesn't always mean that you need to start with a business plan. You might need to start with the outline or just the pre-business stuff to make sure that you have your business set up properly and what you need and who you need on your team to help you set up your business properly.
Exactly. That's why me and her, we collaborate together with our businesses. Like, when I don't have time to do something, I shoot it to her. Even if I have the time, I shoot it to her because I know that's her specialty and what she does with her business. Yep. So that way I can tend to what I do, and then that way I can make everyone better in what they're doing. So that's the key purpose of us working together to make sure that you guys are doing the right thing.
Yep. We're a team.
Yep, we're a team.
And we're a team that helps you get to your goals, be successful, work on issues in your business, help you work the kinks out in your business, and also give you more insight to help you grow your business. Like, I think part of being a part of anybody's team is to help them grow their business.
Absolutely.
And so we help each other grow our business to help our clients grow their businesses.
Absolutely. And then also, we had another topic that kind of struck our mind, and we were thinking about payroll. It's a lot of companies that don't do actual real payroll. You have a lot of people that pull money out of a bank account and they say, oh yeah, I paid myself XYZ amount of money. And I tell people that's not payroll if it didn't go through a payroll program or something like that. Yeah, you can pull money out every day out your bank account, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's payroll. So we want to break down the logistics and all of the barriers about payroll and the why and the how and which entity is supposed to do payroll and what person is supposed to go on payroll and things like that. We want to really get to the nitty gritty of payroll and you understanding why you're supposed to do payroll as a business owner.
Yeah, and the benefits of payroll. I
Absolutely.
think that sometimes business owners don't even understand the benefit of actually doing proper payroll.
Absolutely.
Like you said, not pulling money out your account,
Yep.
but really doing proper payroll for tax purposes
Absolutely.
and different things like that, especially when you are trying to grow your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then this topic really came to mind because I have a lot of people, me and my business partner tease about this all the time. We call them leads. They always want to be a leader. And we're just like, okay, here you go. You got a business, but what type of leader are you?
That's right.
So
that's where I come in at.
Yeah.
Help you define your leadership.
Yes. So a lot of people have sole proprietorships. That's the common business that has been around, oh my God, since our parents, before our parents were doing business. So a lot of people always talk about they are the CEO. It's a difference. You can be a sole proprietorship or you can be a CEO of your company. And you have to determine what type of business can have a CEO because not all businesses can have a CEO. So that topic is very huge. We're going to break that thing down so good for you guys. You guys are not going to be calling yourselves CEOs all the time.
Well, we're going to blow y'all mind with some information that we're going to share in this podcast.
Yes, we are. Now, this is another great topic. A lot of people don't like to pay people to do this, especially me, because I get it all the time. A lot of people before tax time, before tax season, during tax time, they like to bring me their stuff to do their taxes and they don't have bookkeeping completed. So they always think about, I have an accounting program. The number one software out there is QuickBooks, but there are other softwares out there that a lot of people can use and they don't have to always use QuickBooks. You have to pick the program that's best for your company. And that's where we want to talk about the differences in the softwares and what's the right way to go. So that's a topic. And then also, like, once again, we want to talk about, this is really huge. Because I'm an accountant, a lot of people don't know the difference between being a bookkeeper and an accountant. Bookkeeping is totally different from accounting. Some companies have to have both depending on how big your company is. Like if you have a huge company, like where you're doing like all kind of stuff, you got an inventory business, you need a bookkeeper like on staff, and then you also need an accountant to watch the bookkeeper. And a lot of people don't know that. So that's major too. And then this is also now what I want to bring up. This is a topic that a lot of people, they try to stray away from and they want to be cheap about it. But you have to have a good legal team.
Absolutely.
I tell everybody, hire you an attorney. Sometimes you have to have multiple attorneys because not all attorneys they don't practice the same law.
Right.
Like I have not accountants, but I have attorneys that I can text. I got them in my phone and I can say, hey, can you please recommend an attorney for this? Can you recommend an attorney for that? Because not all of them practice the same law. So I think all businesses need a business attorney. Like that is just something. You need a legal team.
And you don't have to have the attorney on retainer.
Exactly.
You can put together a bank of hours or you can work out a per project type of thing with them. But it's always good, especially when you talk about partnerships and corporations and things like that, where it's just getting really deep into the legal aspect of owning a business.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And it's been a topic that has been going around now, very big on Instagram and TikTok. And it's about trust. And it's so many people that are like, I need a trust. I need a trust. I said I could run my business in a trust. Yeah, you can. But we want to tell you the reasonings behind it. And we want to get you acquainted with the right legal team to get that stuff set up or not set up, and tell you more information about it, because it's a lot of information that you guys are taking, y'all are reading on social media, and you guys are taking it to a different level.
Yeah.
And like I say, it's nothing wrong with social media. I don't have a problem with social media. I'm not huge on it, but at the end of the day, what social media does, sometimes they'll tell you one part of it, and it takes you a little tidbit, and it takes you to a different level, and you guys think y'all are geniuses by the end of the day. And then I'm like, come back, bring it back.
Well, the goal is to get educated, and we're not saying that you can't get education as a business owner on your own, but you also want to make sure that in getting these tidbits or following on social media and getting that information, that you're going back to your team of trusted advisors. That's what we're going to call it, trusted advisors, to explain it and also let you know if that is a pro or a con for your business.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then we're going to also talk about just business in general, like how to be a good business owner, how to make sure that you are preparing yourself if you are trying to grow your business for staff, what tools and things that you need in that space to grow your business. Also, when to bring in trusted advisors.
Absolutely.
When to bring in trusted advisors, and not, budgets, forecasting. We're gonna touch on all of those things, because all of those things help you guys as well as us be good business owners and healthy business owners. Business is a lot of mental psychology, a lot of time. It is a 24-hour job. It's rewarding, it's tiring, but overall, like having the right plan and the right people in your pocket,
absolutely,
that you're paying, not trying to get it for free, helps you become a successful business owner. Absolutely. So, Tiffany, on our podcast, we are going to be talking about A to Z accounting and taxes, A to Z business, and all of that stuff in between. But we are also going to have some special guests.
Yes, we are.
We are going to be providing some good insights. We're going to have just different parts of tools that we can give to you guys to help you guys become better business owners, especially if you can't afford to have an accountant on staff, or you can't afford to have a bookkeeper on staff, or a consultant like myself on staff to be able to pay. We're going to help you with some tools that you can do on your own to help you along the way until you start bringing in the type of revenue and have the type of profit that makes sense for you to hire a team. But we also are going to talk about how you can use what you have to get someone like Tiffany or myself or an attorney to look over the things before you start submitting them to the state and start doing things with the IRS and all of these things to get yourself in trouble. Because a lot of people don't even understand that once you filed your business with your state, and then you do a EIN number with the IRS, you got to file a tax return for that business every year. Even if you ain't make any money.
Right.
Even if you didn't make any money.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking about stories, some case studies and things like that. Just dealing with from our clients. And we will, use the most integrity and confidentiality in explaining and sharing these stories and examples with you guys to make sure that, hey, you might say, something that sounds like me. Or that sounds like my business. Or that sounds like my situation.
Exactly.
And, that really helped me figure out what I need to do next. We also are going to be opening it up for you guys to ask us questions.
Absolutely.
We want questions. We want, case studies. We want, it's almost like the Dave Ramsey when people call in to Dave Ramsey. They're coming in and saying, hey, I want to get out of debt. So
Yes.
we want you
Yeah.
guys to write us, make comments, and say, hey, I
Mm-hmm.
want to be a great business owner. Now, we're not going to be able to give you all the resources and all of that for free per se, but we
Yeah.
can definitely help point you in a direction through our
Exactly.
podcast. And if you want to hire us on to be part of your team,
Mm-hmm.
then, you'll be able to contact us and we can also set up
Yep.
consultations.
We want to give you the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yes, and it can get ugly.
Yes, it can.
But it can be so good.
Yes, it can.
Especially if you're starting out on the right foot.
Right.
Like, starting out on the right foot for business owners helps you feel confident and not have imposter syndrome when it comes down to your business and what you do in your business, because you can be really great but lack the education that's necessary to be a good business owner. Absolutely. So in this episode, though, y'all, we just kind of just touching base with you all and just making sure that you know what we are all about. And our goal is to what, Tiffany?
We want to practice making businesses great again.
That's right.
And we want to minimize on failure for your business.
Absolutely. Because when we can minimize failure or give you tips and hints and things like that to help you minimize failure, as we know, small business owners are the number one job providers in this country. So,
absolutely.
If we can help you become a good business owner, a great business owner, or revamp, pivot, or whatever you need to do with your business, then we're serving our purpose.
Absolutely. And we want to make sure, we want to take that myth out of it, saying that the first 5 years is like the make or break of a business. It can be.
It can be.
But I have seen businesses, the first 5 years have made them way better than somebody that's been in business for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they have just like exceeded their goals and plans. So we just want to take all of that out and make you guys better.
Yeah, because that first 5 years, it can make or break your business.
Yeah, because it's rough.
But it can also be where you get your start and just take off and just go up peaks.
Absolutely.
We're going to have some peaks and valleys. That's just part of the process as being business owners and humans. Life be lifing sometimes.
Exactly.
And life be lifing in your business.
That part too. And one thing I could always say is having a business, you have to sacrifice a lot.
Yes.
That's just all. It's all about sacrificing. You sometimes have to sacrifice personal stuff, personal goals, personal time. You have to sacrifice so much just to make your business work.
Yep.
And make it be great.
Yeah, and we're gonna bust the myth of work-life balance. Like,
exactly,
there is a work-life balance, but having a business is like having a baby.
It is. And you don't have to work 24 hours a day. You gotta have some peace with yourself, because if the owner is not good, then the business won't be good.
The business is going
so
to
you
suffer.
have to step away a lot of times and say, you know what, I can't do this. I need to delegate and get someone else to do it.
Yep.
So I can be a better person.
Yep.
Because mental health is definitely a key issue with owning a business.
Yeah, definitely.
If your mental is not together, it's a wrap.
It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard
very hard.
Because everyone can tell when something's going on with you. If when you're in a business, like if something's going on with you in your mental, people can tell, and they'll be like, you know what, he or she is not doing well. We need to like exit or something.
And speaking of exits, we're gonna talk about developing exit strategies for your business.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's build to sell, or build to hand your business off to someone else, especially our older business owners who have children that may work in their businesses or for their business, and being able to truly hand that business off, and you step out of the business as a business owner so that the business continue to be successful. And I think a lot of times we just do not have those exit plan strategies together. We're not thinking about who's going to the longevity of our business and our brand.
Right.
Just because you are a single entrepreneur does not mean that your business can't live outside of you if you decide to step away from the business, or if you so happen to pass.
We're dealing with that right now. Because my father passed last year and we're dealing with that. But we had a plan and we had an exit strategy. Actually, before he passed, we had an exit strategy. And we talked about it for like the past, I would say 3 years. And it just so happened that everything flowed correctly, and it's flowing correctly now. Like, all of his clients came to me. Of course, they were nervous. They were scared. The clients thought that I wasn't going to take them on, but I did. So that's another thing. I had to reassure them that it's going to be okay. I say, just because my father is gone to another life, it's just that this is what it is. And he planned everything correctly. You know,
prepared you to be able to take over his business.
Exactly.
You know. So, other things that we're going to talk about, we are going to just make sure that you guys have a clear understanding on if you should even be a business owner. It is not for everybody.
It's not.
It is not. It is times that I have questioned myself in business, especially when I first started off in business.
Me too.
Feeling like an imposter. Like, who am I to advise and coach and consult people on their businesses?
Been there.
Had successes and failures, and I think, overall that makes it makes me even more of a tool and a resource to people, because it's not always been successful. Sometimes it's a struggle, and when you're struggling, you're struggling, and you have to be able to turn to people that's part of your trusted advisors, your mentors. All of these things are important when it comes down to business. Even in the tax and accounting aspect of things, just knowing people who have had successes and who have had failures.
I had a breaking point one year. I became a flight attendant. I was like,
she did, y'all.
I was done. I was like, I don't want to do this no more.
We know what
I was over it. I was like, I had an out of body experience. Even my dad was like, what is going on? He was like, so you're just gonna leave? You're just gonna go?
But sometimes you need to take a step away.
I had to take a step away
and regroup yourself. And then come back.
That's
okay.
I literally moved to DC for 6 months, became a flight attendant, and came back to Atlanta. And I was like, okay, I'm back now. I was like, this is crazy.
So we're going to share our personal experiences as well, and all of those great things. But before we wrap up this episode, we want to make sure that you know how to find us personally in our businesses.
Absolutely.
And also, how do you find our podcast on social media and all of those great things. So, Tiffany, tell people how they can find you outside of our podcast.
Okay. You can find me at www.checkandbalancefirm.com, or you can email us at theteam@checkandbalancefirm.com.
Absolutely. And you can find me, LaToya Dixson, at lfdconsults.com. You can schedule a consultation. I do a 30-minute consultation on branding as well as business coaching. We're both on social media personally, not so much on social media with our businesses, but you can find our podcast at Take Account of Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. And of course, you can subscribe, share, like, comment, and all those things on our YouTube page. And we're just excited to be able to be a part of your business journey here at Take Account of Podcast.
Absolutely.
We'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.